Underneath the cherry blossoms in spring, a young girl named Akari asks a boy named Takaki if he knows that cherry blossoms fall at the speed of 5 centimeters per second. She hopes that they would be able to see it again next year. Many days pass, and Takaki receives a letter from Akari. Where she is now, the summers are not as hot compared to Tokyo, but she still enjoyed the muggy Tokyo summers with its melting asphalts, shimmering skyscrapers, and air conditioning. They last saw each other at their grade school graduation, and 6 months have passed. Does he still remember her? At the end of the school year, Takaki is moving to Kagoshima, where his parents are. Akari continues to write about her day to Takaki. Takaki writes back to her. Akari asks how he's been as the weather grows cold. Where she is, it's already snowed a few times, and she has to bundle up to go to school. She was surprised to hear that he's the one moving this time. They're both used to switching schools by now, but Kagoshima is further than usual. She wouldn't be able to just go on a train to see him, which makes her a little sad. The two have decided to meet on March 4th, to see each other once more before it's too far to visit each other. Takaki prepares his route and boards the train to go see Akari. He has a flashback of spring, where he and Akari find Chobi the cat. He asks her how the book was. Akari said it was amazing. The two eat at a restaurant while talking about the book. Takaki believed that he and Akari were kindred spirits. They were both new students to Tokyo, both small and prone to sickness. They both preferred reading books and the library to playing outdoors, but they were made fun of by their classmates. But because they had each other, they were strong together and none of that bothered them. Takaki's heart can't stop pounding. He's on his way to see Akari. Because of the snow, there is a delay in the trains. Earlier, Akari called Takaki, telling him she's moving schools to Tochigi. She says sorry, that she asked if she could stay with her aunt in Katoshika, but she's not old enough. Tears fall from Akari's face. Back in the present, the trains have been delayed even further. Takaki begins to get more anxious. It's almost 6 o'clock, and Takaki's train is delayed for another 10 minutes. It's becoming darker and colder, and the snow continues to accumulate, while Takaki is faced with another delay. There were still many stops to go, and it's already 7, their planned meeting time. On the day of their departure, Akari looks sadly at Takaki, saying this is goodbye. He received the first letter from her 6 months later. He had written a letter to give to her in person. There was so much that he had wanted and needed to tell her. It's nearly an hour past their meeting time, and Takaki is still being held by the train delays. He accidentally drops the letter he had written to Akari, and it is lost forever. Takaki holds back his tears in the dreary cold of the winter night. Takaki boards another train, which becomes stuck in the snow for an unforeseeable amount of time. It's nearly 9. Takaki thinks back to Akari's voice in her letters. When he reads her letters, for some reason, he's always imagined her alone. The train ended up stalled in the middle of nowhere for another 2 hours, where each minute felt like an eternity. He hopes Akari already went home. After 2 hours, Takaki finally arrives. He sees Akari sleeping beside a heater and is filled with relief. Takaki whispers her name, and Akari takes hold of his hand, crying. Akari prepared Takaki a meal. He takes a bite and says it's the best food he's tasted in his life. The two arrive at the cherry tree that Akari mentioned in her letter. Under the tree, beneath the slowly falling snow, the two kiss. It was clear to Takaki that they couldn't always be together. They still had their entire lives before them. Akari hugs Takaki, and Takaki hugs her back. Morning comes, and Takaki and Akari are about to part ways. As the train begins to leave, Takaki tells Akari to take care of herself and promises to write letters and call. The train departs, and Takaki leaves Akari. He's never told her about the letter he lost in the snow, and Akari looks at her own letter dedicated to Takaki that she hadn't given to him. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.